Welcome, everybody. I didn't hear my phone click. Oh. Welcome, everybody. This is the year of the water dragon, the Chinese New Year, which actually today. So this is a totally auspicious day, and also new moon in Aquarius, which was an 11-day, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And yes, it was beautiful to experience the crystalline frequency as channeled by Navdeep from Dawn of God. And I'm feeling that. And the water dragon, what I've been experiencing with this water year, this water dragon, the dragon in a Chinese astrology is a power animal. So it's the power of flow, the water dragon, and water can change shapes and can move. So this year is about kind of shape-shifting and changing the shape of the whole, how we see the world, and we can reshape the world. This is the year of reshaping the world. This is the year of the shapeshifter, and that's our official Shakti activation label or logo, the year of the shapeshifter. So we can find ourselves moving and flowing like water moves and flows, and can get into those cracks and crevices, and clean them out and clear them up, and break apart rocks or structures that don't work anymore on our own psyche, our own thought forms, our own body. And in the Chinese astrology, the dragon is their main power animal, and the dragon also is made up of a few different animals. It's made up of a tiger, a fish, a snake, and an eagle. So this is a composite, or a year where all the different elements are coming together, and we've been talking about working with different elements. The elemental kingdom, the ether, and the air, water, fire. So today we're really focusing on the water element. And so the dragon is an example of composite elements, composite animals, and it's an archetype. It's the only Chinese year that's not a real animal. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with composite archetypes, and with the water, we can create new archetypes. And the archetypes are what creates reality. So we've been working a lot with the sixth dimension, which is the dimension of the sacred shape, sacred geometry. So the tiger is an archetype from the sixth dimension. So this is a year to create new archetypes, and then through that pattern, through those new frequencies, then we can create new ways of being, new structures, new ways of doing things on the planet. And I had an interesting session the other day, one of my Skype numerology sessions, and I was talking to a lady who actually lives in New Zealand, and she's an architect, and she was saying that it's her mission to build 13 sacred temples around the planet to anchor in the higher frequencies of the planet, and that was really great to work with her. And I really saw that she's been through a number of lifetimes as a builder, and had something to do with anchoring in the pyramids on the planet that help stabilize the earth and are a place to anchor in the higher frequencies of the earth, and the codes, as we've been talking about, the dimensional codes. So that's an example, and it was interesting to me that I had a session with her a couple days ago. So that was, I thought, synergistic, and is an example of what's happening, bringing in new forms, all kinds of new forms. And the other experience that I had, actually on Sunday, I went to a little get-together for healers to do healing work on each other. And I had an experience of working with someone who had a torn rotator cuff in his shoulder and had one surgery and was about to have another surgery. And So I was working on his shoulder, and what I got was that his heart chakra was blocked. So I worked on unblocking the heart chakra. That's where I felt that the tension in the shoulders and the shoulders not healing. It wasn't healing. The shoulders being misaligned. When I opened up the heart chakra, the energy started flowing. And then I worked with the lymph system to get the lymph system, which is the water system of the body, which is our river, our river of water in our bodies, flowing into his shoulders, into his arms, so we could get the energy going so he could heal. And he said he started feeling all this tingly energy after we worked on that. So if you do healing work, or if you notice for yourself, first notice what chakras need to be opened, and you can bring healing energy to that chakra, and then work with the lymph system. So the lymph system and the water, the year of the water, this is also a year of healing, and it's really healing with the flow. It's healing with the flow, getting the flow going. So again, whatever's blocking the flow, whatever structures, whether it's the lymph system in our own bodies that we can get flowing, or somebody that we're working with to get the flow going, or whether it's structures or something that doesn't work in the culture, in the society, in the world, once we get that flowing with the water will literally wash away the old and make room for us to reform structures, energies, frequencies that flow and move. And the earth, too, I think there's going to actually be more attention on clean water and water cleanup, and I'm putting out my intention that there's more awareness to cleaning up drinking water, such as not putting fluoride in the drinking water and things like that. So it's going to be a year to focus on the water systems on the mother, on Gaia, and to pay more attention to, we've worked a lot with water and our amethyst crystals in the sun and drinking the water. So when you even hold your water, put your crystal in your water and let it flow, just imagine that the water systems are getting cleaned and flowing on the earth. So that's a good visualization, and I'm feeling this kind of, yes. So it's about, and of course the divine feminine is flow. The divine feminine is about flow, where the male, the Shiva, is more the structure, and the Om is the feminine, more the flow. So this is definitely our year to anchor in that divine feminine flow. So if there's something that's stuck and not moving, then we can just visualize that flowing and see how we're guided to work with increasing the flow on the planet, all the way from the planet into the lymph system of our own bodies, and also into getting into water and chanting and swimming and energizing the water that way. And as we have access to more of these higher dimensions and higher frequencies, and we merge more with the elements, like the water element, and we're in the water and we're chanting and we're visualizing clean water for the whole planet, flow on the planet. Since we have more of these higher frequency energies coming through the center of the Milky Way galaxy, we're going to actually have more of an effect. So we were talking about swimming in the warm waters of the Caribbean and chanting in the waters. That's a good example of how we, as a part of the sacred mandala of the sixth dimension, can affect the frequency of the whole. So there's more and more awareness as we move out of 3D of the interconnectedness of life. So what interconnects the planet? What cleanses the planet but the waters, the rivers on the planet? What connects us all? The air element, but the water element. Everybody's drinking water. Everybody needs water to survive on the planet. So this is a year to focus on flow, focus on the water element. Some of the astrological events that we're having is, well, the sun went into Aquarius on January 19th, and last week people were saying, I wonder why I feel so heavy and this and that. So Aquarius is that magical, creative sign. So I hope that this is the month, and also we're moving into the Aquarian Age, but this is the time of, as they say, miracles and magic. With that Uranus energy, things can happen really quickly, and Aquarius is an air element, which means that it flows, but it's also electric. It's also known for its electricity. Inventors such as Thomas Edison were Aquarians. He invented electricity. So it's an electric sign. So energies can move very quickly. Thought forms, it's getting more connected this year to communication and how we communicate with each other. And we have the way of communicating with the internet now, and now the next level of our communication is being aware more of our thoughts and our telepathy, and how our thoughts affect each other, and how just with our thoughts we can start to create change. So this is a third eye, sixth chakra, sixth dimensional frequency, this Aquarian frequency. So it's a good time to pay attention to your thoughts, to bring your attention to your third eye, and project your beautiful transformational thoughts of compassion, connection, flow, and kindness for everyone on the planet out your crystalline unicorn horn that extends out your third eye like a laser. So it's a good year to learn how to hone the possibility of vision, and a vision that basically flows or cuts through like a laser light. So you can work more with interfacing your third eye, your unicorn horn, with the mandala of the sixth dimension, and just see, just with your vision, things that need to change, how you can focus on them and vision them being different, more fluid, more the shape that would serve everyone, what that shape would be. And just by your visualization and meditation through your third eye, you're going to have a lot more power to create and to create change for yourself and for others. So we have the Aquarius new moon yesterday, January. Yesterday was the Aquarian new moon. And so we've got an Aquarius new moon, and year of the Chinese water dragon. So yes, we have a lot of flowing energy, flowing to create change, flow of the feminine, flow of the divine, flow of the Shakti. So we have a chance to review and revamp and let go of something that's stuck, or something that's not workable, something that's imbalanced or unsustainable. So what's not sustainable for Mother Earth? What doesn't flow? What uses her up? This is also a year of rejuvenation and health. So you can think about that flow of the lymph system, and when we get together with our little retreats, I want them to be really about health and rejuvenation also. And we'll be doing things to stimulate the lymph system, and a good year to focus on anti-aging, and as Leonard Orr talks about, he talks about physical immortality, which he talks about has to do with purification and working with the elements and releasing stuck emotional patterns. Leonard Orr's point of view is that the main thing that causes people to die is what he calls emotional energy pollution. And that's just stuck emotional patterns that no longer flow or no longer serve us. So it's a good year to release stuck emotions. So we'll be doing some work with that when we get together. But also, just think about that for yourself and others around you. Trying to be aware of what you're feeling and what emotions might be stuck and where they might be stuck in the body, creating pain. Like that person that I was working with that had the torn rotator cuff. That was stuck emotional energy. But I just put my hand in front of his heart chakra and started to focus on releasing his heart being closed. I didn't even know why or where it came from. I didn't have to know the details. And his heart chakra started moving. It wasn't moving. So I actually saw the chakra spinning, and then that's when the energy opened up in the lymph system, and then he started feeling the tingles, the pricklies. He started feeling the energy move into his arms, and I told him, I said, your arms are extension of your heart. So, my prescription for you is to hug more. And then the visualization was, I was shown to imagine that we're hugging Gaia, we're hugging the earth. In other words, we open up our arms, and you can practice this. So you just inhale, pull the root, open up your diaphragm, and then open up your arms. So your arms are out, palms forward, and you just inhale, and you imagine you bring breath up into your heart chakra, and as you exhale, you flow heart energy out your palms, and let that heart energy go directly into Mother Earth. And you can do that when you're outside, or taking a walk, or looking at a tree. But the message I got from Gaia, Mother Earth, was to hug more, and hug me more, and to really practice sending our heart energy out our arms through our palms. And of course, we can hug each other more too, but this is something that we can work with energetically to open up, keep our own heart chakras open and flowing, and send that love into the Mother. That's specifically what I heard her ask for when a lot of times I ask for messages from the Mother. Mother, what would you like me to share? What would you like me to know? What would you like me to practice? So that was the message that came today. So we have a lot of different astrological events. We have Mercury in Capricorn from January 8th through January 27th, and it's in Aquarius from January 28th to February 15th. So Mercury's our mind, how we focus our energy. So we've talked about focusing on the earth, and now what I'm talking about, this exercise with opening up the arms and hugging Mother Earth, that's perfect. Flow your love energy, focus your love energy, Mercury with the mind in Aquarius on Gaia. So that's January 28th through February 15th. So that's a good little exercise to do anytime, but especially that's an example of something that could be helpful for this time period. So we have this also Uranus in Aries, and we have this happening until May 2018. So this is really how we identify who we are as individuals. It's individual change. But in Aquarius, the question is, who is the individual in relationship to the collective? Who are you in relationship to the whole? So this is the question that humanity it needs to be asking, or archetypically it's being set up for humanity to ask, who am I? And there's a specific guru he was given that form where that was the practice, the spiritual practice, just to ask, who am I? Well, the question is, who am I in relationship to the whole, not just who am I? So with the Aquarian Age, we have another piece to that spiritual practice to ask, who am I in relationship to the collective? Because the Aquarian Age is all for one and one for all. So if somebody's being left out, then it's about up-leveling the whole consciousness so everybody can get their needs met, and knowing that there's enough love. And I used to do prosperity workshops and what I used to do for money is I would have people go around and talk about something they wanted to do. They wanted to do this workshop, or go to here, or go on this trip, or I don't know, buy this house. Whatever it was they wanted to do, buy certain clothes. And I had them say they couldn't use the word money, which is funny because it's a workshop on prosperity, but they weren't allowed to use the word money. So I had them say, I don't have enough blank to do, whatever it was they thought that money was limiting them from doing. So I got all kinds of interesting words instead of money. I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough self-confidence, or I don't have enough freedom, or I don't have enough imagination. So in terms of prosperity and the flow of prosperity for 2012, so the exercise for that you can practice is just notice, write down like a positive, like an affirmation, something that you want, and if you feel the flow is being blocked, then write down what your thoughts are. You don't have enough blank time, etc. And then what to do is to inhale and then chant hara, and then add I have enough, and then whatever it is you thought you didn't have enough of, time. Chant hara, I have enough time. Hara, I have enough time. So when you chant the hara, pulling in on the navel center with this water dragon power year, that will activate your prosperity. That will activate your flow. So you can definitely use hara as the key activator to really getting your prosperity energy to move, or whatever it is that you want to move in your own life, to use that mantra that Yogi Bhajan gave us, the hara. And you can also practice the different hara meditations, as you like, but make sure that you focus on what it is that you want to change or be different, what it is you want to bring through, because there was somebody who had done the hara meditation for 1,000 days, and he went to Yogi Bhajan, and he said, "Sir, I've been doing all these prosperity meditations, and I did the hara meditation for 1,000 days, and still I'm poor. I'm just a poor sadhu. I have no money. What should I do, sir?" And Yogi Bhajan said, "Well, what do you want? What are you visualizing with the hara meditation?" And he said, "Nothing. My mind is blank." And Yogi Bhajan said, "That's your problem. You have to ask for what you want." So this is a year to put what you want into the flow of the divine, into the flow of life, and ask the question, who am I in relationship to the whole? And what serves the whole? And what serves my individual identity? So it becomes this mandala of give and take, of the eighth dimension, the pranic field, the pranic body. So we're working with the ether in a way that activates this field. So when we activate it in ourselves and get what we need, then we're more able to flow and give to the field. So when we feel full, like let's just say we had a beautiful organic salad, and then we feel good, and we go outside and we take a walk, and we're able to deep breathe and open up our arms and lift up on our diaphragms and exhale our love with our palms forward to all of the earth around us. That's an example of who am I in relationship to the collective, in relationship to the oneness of the Aquarian Age. I am flowing love. I am able to give love. So it's about personal and planetary empowerment. That's what 2012 is. It's a win-win. It's about personal and planetary empowerment. Now, we heard a lot the phrase personal empowerment, but how many times have we heard the word planetary empowerment? So it's personal and planetary empowerment. And in 2012, these two concepts are married. They're going together. It's the marriage of the yin and the yang, the inner and the outer, the Shiva and the Shakti. And that is, as we know, the fourth dimension. So we're moving out of 3D, right, wrong, good, bad, just seeing things in a linear way, to understanding the polarity of life, that everything's in balance. So that's the fourth dimension. So the fourth dimension consciousness is the personal and planetary empowerment. That's the concept for 4D that we're anchoring into the frequency field. So you can even meditate on that concept. When you think about what would make me feel personally empowered, and then if I'm personally empowered, how would that empower the planet? So maybe I'm just buying, again, to use the organic salad illustration. Maybe I'm growing some chard in my yard, and I pick my salad. So there's a personal empowerment. We're doing something for our health, and then it also is good for the planet because we're growing our own food and we're not, transporting it from thousands of miles away or eating food that's sprayed. So there's another really important piece that we're adding to the consciousness of this beautiful 2012, this beautiful day, this beautiful water dragon energy that's just going to fill you with life force and fill you with love with each breath and each step that you take. So we also have the year of the dragon is, with the Aquarian new moon, is an 11-day. And so we know that 11 is that ability to walk in mastery, 1 + 1. The soul walking with Source, us walking with Gaia, personal planetary empowerment. So it's 1 + 23 + 2012. You add them all up and reduce them down, it comes to an 11. So it's the vibration of mastery. And so these energies are giving us the frequency reset to walk in mastery with ourselves, with our higher selves, and with Gaia, planet Earth, and to uplift all the beings around us. And I was totally getting the message as we meditate and are working together and get together in our retreats that there literally are thousands of people that we're going to be helping, healing, and uplifting. Even if the vibration is just put into the sixth-dimensional field, it's still going to be, the frequency is going to be affecting literally thousands of people. So this is the year to flow with grace, flow with the grace of mastery, and bring to fruition many things that we've been working on for lifetimes. So for today, we're going to chant. Here we go. We're going to chant prosperity mantra, Harinam, which means I call upon into existence the creative energy of that which serves the personal and planetary empowerment. So as you chant the Hari, pull in on the navel center, and we're chanting it. We'll all be chanting it as one. And think about what you want to bring into manifestation. I'm thinking about our retreats. That's what I want to bring into manifestation.